Jungkook and his friends were playing a game called Truth or Dare in the cafeteria during their lunch break. When it was Jungkook's turn to choose, Jungkook chose Dare. And his friend smirkingly looking at him said, "I'll dare you to slap Taehyung's butt right now, right here." Knowing very well he would most likely get pissed. Hearing Yoonho's word, Jungkook's eyes widened. And he shockingly asked, "Excuse me? What the hell did you just say?" Saying this, Jungkook's cheeks immediately took up the tint of red as Taehyung was his crush. Either do it or face a punishment. And trust me, Kook, you won't enjoy it. Jungkook struggled as Jungkook's other friends had a visible smirk plaster on their faces. Groaning, Jungkook stood up from his chair and looked around the cafeteria until finally his eyes landed on Taehyung. Seemed he was joking around with his group of friends in the far end of the huge hall. Gulping down his lump, Jungkook shoved his both hands into the pocket of his black hoodie. Before walking his way towards Taehyung, Jungkook's friends watched him. As he stepped closer and closer towards Taehyung, excitement cooking in their minds and hearts. Upon Taehyung's table, Jungkook didn't know what to say. Jungkook was suddenly shy to even speak a word in front of his crush for the past 2 years. Taehyung's friends noticed Jungkook's arrival and gestured Taehyung. Jungkook was standing right behind him. Taehyung turned his head and stared up at Jungkook. "Can I help you?" he asked. Surprisingly, it wasn't the cold tone he'd usually use whenever people approach him, rather a soft tone. Jungkook's nervousness starting to build up now. Almost everyone who was present in the cafeteria had their eyes landing on Jungkook. Even the janitors. Jungkook was getting so much attention suddenly and it made him freaking uncomfortable. Can you stand up real quick?" Jungkook shuddered, feeling his heart racing 10 times more. His voice was barely a whisper as Taehyung raised his brow in confusion. "I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? I can't hear you." Taehyung gently replied while his friends were still staring deeply into Jungkook's soul, slightly causing Jungkook to be uncomfortable even more. Breathing in and out, Jungkook spoke a bit clearly. "I said, can you please stand up?" Jungkook asked. Looking at Jungkook's confused face, Taehyung suddenly stood up. Jungkook were about to say something, until he realized half of the students in the cafeteria were recording the scene. He thought, "Is it that serious?" This didn't help Jungkook with his shaky hands. Jungkook's friends watched him intensely, waiting for Jungkook to swing his hand and bomb. Hit Taehyung's butt. But Jungkook took his time, trying to calculate how hard he would have to hit it. "Oh damn it," Jungkook mumbled underneath his breath. He closed his eyes shut. "I'm sorry," Jungkook whispered before his left hand swung and slapped Taehyung's butt so hard that the sound almost echoed around the whole cafeteria. Everyone quickly gasped when Jungkook's hand landed onto Taehyung's butt. Taehyung's friends, the students, the janitors and including the lunch ladies were too stunned to speak. "Hey, what the hell?" he yelled, but before he could land his hands on Jungkook had already turned around and ran away due to embarrassment. Running out of the cafeteria and get into the library room. Jungkook breathed heavily. Placing his hands on his knees, Jungkook huffed and puffed repeatedly. The speed with which Jungkook ran away from there was immaculate. Jungkook's whole face was full of sweat ran down. Feeling his cheeks burning, he covered his face with his hands, even feeling dumb and embarrassed. Holy shit. Damn it. What I did right now. He kept bubbling over and over. He had officially embarrassed himself. And he didn't know how Taehyung would react. Oh hell, Jungkook didn't know what Taehyung will do to him right now. If Taehyung found him, just when Jungkook were about to run away to another hiding spot, suddenly two strong arms held into his waist and pinned it to the nearby wall. And when Jungkook stared up at the owner ready to go off, Jungkook saw Taehyung, the most popular baddest boy in college, carve his crush. Nibbling into Jungkook's lower lip, Jungkook covered his face with his hands yet again. I'm sorry. I only did it for a dare. My friends are so mean, Jungkook awkwardly said. And quickly apologized, expecting Taehyung to yell at him. But instead he heard Taehyung chuckling deeply. Jungkook peeked from the gaps of his fingers and looked at Taehyung. Without any warning, Taehyung lifting Jungkook up, taking him inside the boys' changing room, and sitting on one of the benches. Taehyung placed Jungkook on his lap as Jungkook's stomach laid on his thighs. Confusing mixed with terrified was starting to build up in Jungkook's mind. He thought, what the hell is he planning on doing with me? Hey listen, I'm really sorry. I didn't. Before Jungkook could complete his words, Taehyung quickly stopped him, placing his thumb over Jungkook's lips. Suddenly Jungkook felt Taehyung's left hand softly caressing his ass. Try not to make any noises, okay baby boy? His large fingers squeezing the flesh between. I'll show you how it's done, he said with a smirk. And a hard smack was planted on Jungkook's ass, which caused Jungkook to gasp. And then let's just say, they both ended up skipping their next 2 periods. And they do something. Oh come on, you all know then what they did. Right, T-Cookers? So imagine the rest by your own. The end. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and share, because it would inspire me to write more FF like this. Purple you all my purple soul T-Cookers.